Quinton Jackson, or better known as Rampage Jackson, is a MMA fighter who became the UFC light heavyweight champion in 2007. During his MMA career, he gathered a record of 38 wins and 14 losses, which 20 of the wins came by knockout and 4 by submission. In this video, we will go over all his finishes during his career. Rampage's first finish was against Marco Bermudez in Pancrase MMA. In the second minute of round 2, Rampage had Marco in a mount position while connecting with a lot of strikes. Marco had to give up his back, and Rampage took advantage of the opportunity and submit him via rear naked choke. Jackson's next finish was against Dave Tyler in Gladiator Challenger organization. In the 4th minute of the fight, Rampage had him in the mount position while connecting with punches. Dave gave up his back and Rampage kept connecting with knees to the head until the referee stopped the fight and Rampage won via technical knockout. Next in line was Dennis Henderson. Rampage was the better fighter, and in the second round, he took Dennis down and had him in side control. He tried the Kimura submission on Dennis, which forced him to tap for Rampage to win the fight via submission. Rampage fought Kenneth Williams next. In the 4th minute of the fight, Rampage took Kenneth down, mounted him, and eventually took Kenneth's back and was able to submit him via rear naked choke. Jackson fought in Pride next, and his opponent was Yuki Ishikawa. Rampage made short work of Yuki. In the 2nd minute of the fight, he took Yuki down and connected with a lot of strikes. As soon as Yuki managed to get up, Rampage landed a straight right followed by a left hook which shot the lights out and ended the fight. Rampage's next opponent was Masaki Satake. Rampage took Masaki down in the 1st minute of the fight and had him in side control for 7 minutes until Masaki managed to get up just to be taken down again, and this time Rampage connected with some heavy strikes which made the referee to stop the fight. Next in line was Sean Gray. Rampage dominated the fight, and in the 3rd round he connected with a lot of strikes which made the referee to stop the fight. Jackson's next finish was in Pride FC against Igor Vovanchin. Rampage kept taking Igor down and connected with a lot of body punches on the ground, which eventually hurt Igor's ribs so much that made him tap. Rampage fought Kevin Randleman next. Randleman used to be a UFC heavyweight champion, and at that time he had just moved to Pride FC. The majority of the fight was spent while the two were in a clinch. In the 7th minute of the fight, Rampage landed a heavy uppercut followed by a left hook, which made Randleman to go on the ground. Rampage continued his strikes while mounting him, which made the referee to stop the fight for Rampage to win via knockout. Rampage's next opponent was Mikhail Ilyukin. Jackson was connecting through the entire time, and in the 7th minute, Mikhail tried to take Rampage down, but Rampage reversed the position and took him down himself. Mikhail had Rampage in his guard and tried the triangle choke but missed, which gave Rampage the side control. Rampage started landing knees to the liver, which made Mikhail to tap. Jackson fought Chuck Liddell next in Pride FC. At the time the two fought, Rampage was on a 6-win streak with already having a record of 18-3, which 10 of the wins came by knockout and 4 by submission. Chuck was recognized in the MMA world for his finishes and was ready to take on Rampage. In round 1, both men connected on each other, but in the second round, Chuck seemed fatigued and Rampage was able to take him down and keep him in half guard while punching his body and head. Chuck had no answer and his coaches stopped the fight. Rampage's next finish was against Ikuhisa Minowa. Rampage dominated Ikuhisa during the whole fight. Ikuhisa tried to take Rampage down, but Rampage came on top every time while connecting with a lot of strikes. In the first minute of round 3, Rampage took Ikuhisa down and had him in side control while connecting with knees to the head and the body. Rampage connected with a heavy knee which made Ikuhisa stunned and unconscious, so the referee stopped the fight for Rampage to win via knockout. Six months later, Jackson fought Ricardo Arona. In the 8th minute of the fight, Rampage was in Ricardo's guard. Rampage lifted him up and slammed him to the canvas, which knocked him out, and the referee stopped the fight. Rampage's next finish was against Hirotaka Yokoi. In the 4th minute of the fight, Yokoi tried to take Rampage down, but Rampage came on top and had him in side control. Rampage trapped his hand and kept connecting with the strikes until the referee stopped the fight. Now it was time for Rampage to fight in UFC. His debut was against Marvin Eastman. Round 1 was spent mostly in clinch while both men connected on each other. In the 4th minute of round 2, both fighters were in a clinch when Rampage connected with a right uppercut followed by a right hook which knocked Marvin out and ended the fight. Rampage fought Chuck Liddell next for UFC Light Heavyweight Championship belt. Chuck was on a 7-win streak and wanted to avenge his last loss against Rampage. In the first minute of the fight, you could see both fighters were waiting for his opponent to make the first move so they could counter him. Rampage constantly took the middle of the octagon and forced Chuck to make the first move. In the 2nd minute of round 1, Chuck came in with a jab, a straight right and a left hook to the body, which Rampage countered with a clean right hook, connecting on the chin of Chuck, stunning him and putting him on the ground. Rampage kept punching him on the ground and the referee stopped the fight for Rampage to win his first UFC Light Heavyweight Championship via knockout. After defeating Chuck Liddell, Rampage defended his title against Dan Henderson via unanimous decision but lost it to Forrest Griffin. Now he had to win a couple of fights before he could get another chance. His next opponent was Wanderlei Silva. Wanderlei had defeated Rampage in Pride FC before and Rampage wanted to avenge his loss. The two fighters fought each other for 3 minutes until in the 4th minute of round 1 when they got into an exchange and Rampage connected with a heavy left hook which knocked Wanderlei out cold. Rampage's next finish was in Bellator against Joey Beltran. In the last seconds of round 1, they got into an exchange and Rampage connected with barrage of punches which knocked Joey out and ended the fight. Rampage fought Christian Mapambu next. In the 4th minute of the fight, Rampage connected with a left hook which put Christian on the ground. Rampage continued punching him on the ground, which knocked him out and ended the fight. In September of 2018, Rampage and Wanderlei Silva fought for the third time in Bellator. In the last seconds of round 2, Rampage connected with a heavy right hook which stunned Wanderlei and made him to go on the ground. Jackson kept punching him on the ground and the referee stopped the fight for Rampage to win via technical knockout. This was Rampage's last finish in his MMA career. He will always be remembered for his spectacular knockouts among the MMA fans.